Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 3 of the Dragon's Breath Minecraft podcast, recorded a bit late on December 26th, 2020. I'm Dabby Cat and I'm joined as always by Firestar.
Hey guys, welcome back. Since last week's episode came out, we have acquired a Patreon page where you can pledge at any level for quite cheap and receive lots of awesome benefits, including private chats, listening to the show live, a higher up role on the Discord, helping to choose feature of the week, and much, much more.
You can find more info on that at patreon.com/dragonsbreath, all lowercase, no space, or on our Discord server, which will be linked in the description or show notes. It would really help us out if you donated at any level, so maybe consider it, no pressure though. Also, make sure to check out last week's episode if you haven't already. We talked a bunch about speculation for the feature of the 1.17 Caves and Cliffs update.
Alright, let's get into it.
Alright, what have you been doing in Minecraft this past week?
So for me, and I know for you as well, like about 75% of what I've done has been work on the Hunger Games event. And that is actually going to be our main discussion today, so I'm really not going to talk much about it right now. I've done a little bit on the faction server with Blood Nation that we started last week. Today I actually pranked Potato with some Curse of Binding armor and dragon head, even though he just died and got it off. But it was still fun. I haven't really been doing that much work.
You're so good at pranking.
On it, but we've been doing a few more private Hypixel games, and I actually revived my old Algodo Marble Races YouTube channel. I'm not going to talk much about that here since, this is a Minecraft podcast, but yeah, it'll be linked in my channel, and that would be awesome if you checked it out. Yeah, I mean, the section would be a lot longer if I were talking about the Hunger Games, but
we're not going to do that today.
We are today, just not.
Oh yeah, I mean
10 minutes. Yeah,
we're not going to do that in the next minute.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is it my turn?
No.
Okay.
All right, now it's your turn.
All right, so now it's my turn. Yay!
Yeah.
So, like Firestar, I've been spending most of my time on the Hunger Games, but we're gonna talk about that later. So yeah, but yeah. So as I'm recording this, it's the 26th of December, and yesterday was Christmas. For those of you who celebrated it, I hope you had a Merry Christmas, and if you didn't, I hope you just had a nice day. And so, but yeah, I got a lot of new things, and it was a really cool time. So I got a new keyboard and a new mouse, which I've been experimenting with. I got the Glorious Model O black version and the Corsair K55 RGB keyboard. If anybody's interested in that, I really like them both. However, it's taken me a little while to get used to them because it's pretty different from what I had before. But I've been spending a while getting used to that and just playing some Hypixel with it. I played some private games with Firestar, like he mentioned. And also, on the topic of Hypixel, literally 10 minutes ago, Firestar actually gifted me VIP rank on Hypixel because I was a non for so long. And yeah, I'm really happy about that, so thank you, Firestar.
The moral of the story is Firestar is awesome, right?
You know what? Sure, I'll let you have that. I'll let you have this.
You're welcome. Merry Christmas.
Hey! Okay, I also got, one of the best things ever. I got Bad Boy Halo merch.
He's addicted to muffins and
exactly, it's muffin time. And it's so cool. And I just wanted to mention that because I'm so happy about it. And also on the topic of Christmas and the holiday season, everything, I made a custom map with that, about that, with the theme. And yes, words are hard, don't you? Okay, I think I said that last time. Anyway, I made a kind of a very, very basic map and world painter. It's just a kind of flattish land with a few hills, with a mountain range on the border. And I had a bunch of Christmas themed houses. I just pasted in schematics and then decorated them to be Christmas themed. I have a giant tree and the note block thing that plays Jingle Bells, and I'm really happy with it. I don't think I'm gonna showcase that on a channel, but I have done that. But yeah, that's pretty much Yeah.
Maybe you can post it in the Discord server, a picture of it.
That's a good idea, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do that. Thanks for
Awesome.
the idea. Join the Discord server if you want to see that. Yeah, I've also been spending a bit of time on the faction server. We made a few farms. I started a few wars. Or I didn't really start wars. I just killed people for no reason, because that's fun.
Yay!
And there's a new streamer on the server who we've been trolling. It's kind of fun. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been up to. Except for the Hunger Games, which we're going to talk about later again.
Yikes, this is going fast so far. We're only like 5 or 6
Speed
minutes
run!
in.
Do-do-do-do! Okay, yeah.
Yeah. There's basically no news because there was no Minecraft snapshot this week. 20W51A with the axolotls was the last snapshot of 2020. It was confirmed. And from a short time researching, I couldn't find any interesting Twitter posts to go over, so basically no news this week.
Researcher. Oh my god, he's so smart. Yeah, no, there's no news. Minecraft is taking a break for the holiday season. Honestly, they deserve it. They've been doing a lot recently, and
I'm excited to see what comes in 2021, right?
more pain and suffering.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm talking about Minecraft.
No, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
That's
the best thing that's gonna come in 2021, everyone knows, is the glow squid. I'm so excited for the glow squid. Best feature ever added to Minecraft.
You stole that. I literally made that joke last time.
Well, I know, but
Okay.
it has to be we have to do it every single week. Come on, seriously.
All right. So, I guess we're really going fast. But we're going to get into the feature of the week now. It's a bit early, but it is what it is. There's going to be a lot to talk about, and I'm pretty excited for this week's topic. So make sure to join the Discord. The link will be in the description and show notes, as always. If you would like to vote for the feature of the week, which you can, it's a completely audience-run vote where you can choose what feature we're going to talk about. And you can also, in the Discord server, talk to the hosts, guests, and fellow listeners. And if you do pledge on Patreon, which is an option, you can also help choose the options which will be voted on for Feature of the Week. So this week's theme was blocks, and the options were the lectern, the fletching table, and the crying obsidian block.
And the winner is fletching table. The winner's fletching table. It won with 8 votes, pretty close to crying obsidian with 6, and the lectern with only 1 vote, which wasn't really a vote because I have to put the reaction for all 3 of them. So basically, nobody voted for it except for me, and that wasn't even because I chose it. It's just because I had to.
Alone and unloved.
Yeah,
lectern.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry.
The fletching table can be found in, I'm pretty sure, all villages, and they can also be crafted with
Especially
4. Yeah. They can be crafted with 4 wood planks of any kind, as well as 2 flint.
Indeed. Yeah. They were added in 1.14 along with the rest of the workstation blocks because they are in fact used as a workstation block for the Fletcher Villager, which can be pretty useful, but other than that, they have absolutely 0 functionality. When they were added, the smithing table was the only other workstation that didn't do anything, and both of them were announced that they would eventually have a functionality. However, the smithing table was used to netheriteify diamond tools and armor in the 1.16 nether update. So yeah.
Yeah, so the fletching table's kind of all on its own. How would you improve the fletching table and add functionality to it?
Yeah, so I think especially this topic has it's on the table. They have to add something, and I don't know if they have an idea, but I know that we both have some ideas for it. Mm-hmm. So one thing they can do is use it to make some new kinds of bows, because right now we have the bow and we have the crossbow. That's pretty cool, but I think it would be cooler if we had different kinds of bows. We could have a long bow which could shoot farther but less powerful or something, and a short bow which could shoot shorter but more powerful.
And then a medium bow. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, sure. Alright. Okay. So, and also another feature of the game right now is that we have these tipped arrows, which are with potion effects. But I've had an idea where you could make, like, tipped arrows, except not tipped arrows, but enchanted arrows. So you know how you, like, enchant a bow? What if you could, like, enchant an arrow with different kinds of things? So, like, you could enchant it to do a bit more damage or to have flame or, I don't know, just some kind of enchantment. It could, like, there could be, like, a slowing enchantment or whatever that slows people down when they hit it, or just something like that. And they can also, you might also be able to make, like, other kinds of tipped arrows, like iron, gold, and even netherite tipped arrows. So, like, the iron tipped arrow could, like, do a bit more damage than normal. The gold tipped arrow could, like, give you a bit of healing whenever you hit something. The netherite arrow could, like,
do a lot more damage. I don't know.
Cause world destruction.
Yeah.
Cause World War III. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just something really powerful.
Just to name a few ideas.
Yeah, just to name a few ideas. A nuclear explosion, something like that. What do you think about the fletching table?
So I have a few ideas. I mean, as you know, they're the workstation for the Fletcher, and if you don't know, it's like fletching is like has to do with bows and arrows, like has been established before. So I was thinking maybe you could combine lingering potions and normal arrows or something like that to make the tipped arrows, because currently I think you can only get them from the Fletcher villagers. I was thinking, I've always thought it could be cool if you could make a bit more customized weaponry and armor, sort of like in Minecraft Dungeons. Not every single diamond chestplate is gonna have the same exact health, and you can combine them and make them better and see which ones have different benefits. And I feel like that could be cool with bows and arrows and the fletching table. I feel like maybe even if it would be really expensive, it could be cool if you could make like really unique arrows, or like a grappling arrow, an arrow that's like does the opposite of punch, it pulls them towards you, or some other unique abilities. And one idea I just had, I know the reason that they trade sticks for emeralds, the Fletcher villagers, is because you use sticks to make arrows. But if you're keeping with that wood theme, people have been asking for a woodcutter block that does what the stonecutter does for stony things. What if the fletching table was the new woodcutter? I don't know, just an idea.
Perhaps. I'm not really sure. I don't think that's really how it works. It's like stonecutters actually cut stone, and a fletching table.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the saw blade feature, but yeah, something like that, or some new kind of block like that would be cool. Yeah.
Totally, yeah. I mean, I never really use it other than to make stairs. The stonecutter, you could use it to just turn one stone block into 2 slabs instead of using 3 for 6, which can be useful. But yeah, the stonecutter is pretty awesome, and it could be great to have a woodcutter.
Yeah. No matter what they decide to do, they probably won't do any of these options, but it'd be pretty cool if they did. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Mojang eventually decides to do with the fletching table. And I hope they eventually do something, because otherwise we would have gotten a scam.
It's kind of already a meme, but it could be cool if it just stayed as a meme, like the fletching table is just the uselessest. That's a word, uselessest.
Useless. Nice
block in the game. So yeah, make sure to join the Discord server. This coming week's options are for mobs. It's the bat, the snow golem, and the stray. So if you have any opinions, make sure to join the Discord server, and then you can vote and have a bunch of other benefits. And
yes, join the Discord server.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the main discussion. So,
Woo!
As we mentioned earlier, Tabby and I have been really hard at work on making the new map for the Hunger Games. Now, a good portion of our listeners are or will be members of the Hunger Games, so we can't spoil too much about the map, but we will say a few teasers that they'll only know if they listen to this. So, we're going to be talking...
Nobody knows. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about how we make the Hunger Games event, and more specifically, the map. So first of all, It's mostly been me who's done the work in World Painter for the map, but I know you learned a bit about it by doing the map you were working on for Christmas. So, do you want to talk a bit about like World Painter and what you can do with it, how you can use it, and whose videos to watch?
Okay, World Painter, yes. So World Painter is I don't know, I should probably just start by giving a definition of what it is, because I'm sure most people listening to this won't know. So World Painter is an application that you can use to basically create custom terrain, a custom world in Minecraft. So you can use all of these different tools and stuff that they have to create mountains, lakes, rivers, anything you want, and just create a completely custom map, which can look so much cooler than the vanilla terrain. Even if you just want to use it for just for having an empty map, or if you want to just do a really cool build, World Painter is definitely what you want to use.
Totally. So, and not only that, but you can make insane mountains and worlds in just a few seconds. Whereas if you wanted to use Voxel Sniper or World Edit, it might take hours.
Exactly. I mean, and especially just in vanilla Minecraft with nothing, it would take so long to create the things that you can do in just a couple minutes in World Painter.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't think I'm the most qualified to talk about how you can use it.
Alright.
If you want someone who is qualified, some people's videos you can watch are Jeracraft is a YouTuber who has a series, or maybe it's just a video, I don't remember, on how to use World Painter, and he gives you a bunch of cool tips and stuff, as well as a YouTuber called Lord Dakar, Dakr, and he has a really cool series that basically takes you through everything you need to know. So if that sounds at all interesting to you, that's probably what you want to check out.
And we'll try to remember to leave links to both of those videos in the show notes.
Yes.
So yeah, with World Painter, especially with these tutorials, it has a bunch of custom brushes, but with these tutorials, it gives you links to a bunch more custom brushes, whereas these ones they have are mostly squares and circles. They have ones that are specifically made to make mountains, cliffs, canyons, caves, things like that, that look a lot more natural than just a circle. You can also download custom object packs. So for example, we're mostly doing natural things, but we do, just for our first little spoiler, we do have an area of the map. Since it's a bunch of different biomes, we have one area of the map which is a custom sort of pine forest made up with a bunch of custom trees, rocks, bushes, stuff like that. And it really looks kind of insane. So you can make your own custom trees and import them and make forests out of them, or you can download packs of them, which is super awesome. And it's just really cool, and it has a lot more customizability because you can, for example, today I was struggling a bit with World Edit because I was making a mountain that I wanted to be out of a specific block. Let's just say it was dirt. And then I wanted the top layers to be grass, but with World Edit I couldn't do that. With World Painter you can, because you can say you're only going to paint it grass onto dirt, for example. And you can also make really natural looking beaches because there's add or above or add or below tools. So if you can say if the sea level is at 62, you can say the grass will only spawn at 66 and above, and then 62 to 66 will just be sandy beaches, which is great. So yeah, we're also having this map be pretty ginormous. One of the complaints we had last time with the Hunger Games event, by the way, if you want to know a bit more about that, watch Dabby's video on it.
It's so close to 300 views, please watch it.
Yeah. So we're not really going to be talking that much about the Hunger Games event and how it works, because you can just watch that video to find out. But last time one of the complaints was the map was a bit too small. I believe the whole thing was about 1,000 by 1,000. So this time...
Still pretty big.
Yeah, it was pretty big, but
not big enough.
Not big enough. So this time,
how big it is
the
this
map
time.
is, so the radius in a square is 2,556 blocks, meaning the whole map is about 5,000 blocks by 5,000 blocks. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty huge.
That's a lot of blocks.
Especially for only a 2-hour-long event. So we're gonna be making a few custom structures, and we're gonna be importing some structures.
Yep. I'm going to handle all that, schematics and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, and
But
so
really annoying.
we're gonna have chests everywhere, structures, a bunch of stuff to explore that they can do in the 2 hours while they brutally murder each other.
Yeah, but obviously, a Hunger Games map is gonna be a bit different than just a normal map that you want to just meant for like exploring or something. So some key elements and features that you should keep in mind, or that we had to keep in mind when making our Hunger Games map, was we needed, first of all, we needed a good spawn, like a good mid area that both looked really cool, had an element of danger, and also had places for the players to spawn and a cornucopia in the middle.
So for
we
example,
have to,
last time, it was inspired by the Catching Fire Hunger Games map from the second movie of the Hunger Games series. So the center, there was a big cornucopia made out of slabs with a bunch of amazing chests, but also a bunch of danger since everyone is fighting there.
and also the water around it.
Yeah, the water makes it tricky as well. So I remember a lot of people went for mid last time, and I think 5 or 6 people died in the first minute or so.
And then
Rip
they wanted
Credora.
a grace period, and we said no.
Yeah, because the grace period makes it
Exactly.
so that
If they
everyone
want
goes
to go to mid, then they have to risk their life to go get the mid loot. If you don't want to die instantly, then maybe don't immediately rush mid.
Exactly. But if you want a bunch of good loot, maybe mid is for you.
Yeah. So okay. Do you want to talk about other elements of a Hunger Games map, or should
Sure.
let's do it. Okay.
So another really important element is sort of the diversity of the map. You have to balance a little bit, because if you don't have a perfectly symmetrical map, which we didn't want, you don't want anyone to have too much of an advantage just about where around the central circle they spawn in. However, it's really good to have diversity of the map. So we don't, it can be a hard balance to strike, but we don't want the entire 5,000 by 5,000 blocks to just be jungle. Like kind of last time, the entire map was mostly jungle.
Like last time, the entire map was jungle except for mid, which made it kind of hard. Not only made it hard to navigate and move around, but also just didn't add much diversity and just gameplay.
So yeah, this map is gonna be really insane. We're done with it in World Painter and a few actions in World Edit, so we're gonna be starting to work on the command blocks and the chests and structures and stuff soon.
Yeah.
But one of the cool things about World Painter and this map as well is you can change the sea level. So we actually made the sea level, instead of 62, we made it down to Y level 20, which gives us 40 extra blocks to go up.
So
and
we can have
I'm kinda,
really extreme mountains.
Yeah, I'm kind of addicted to making really tall and extreme and amazing mountains. So they're going to be very tricky to climb. Tabby actually tried climbing one of the ones I made. They're going to be tricky.
I needed a boat.
But we'll put a chest.
Yeah.
We'll put a bunch of chests at the top with great loot. So I think it'll be worth it.
So if you're watching and you're planning on participating in the event, climb mountains, or maybe not. Maybe we'll just put nothing up there, and you would have been epically trolled. That would be kind of funny. But yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Any other key elements you can think of?
Yeah. So as we were talking before about diversity, we need to have the map be pretty diverse so people don't get bored watching it or playing it. So a good way we can do that is with structures. So structures, just like any kind of structure, can just like add some kind of theme or some points of interest that people will want to go to. And it'll just make the whole map more interesting if you have certain like unique features. Like for example, if we put like a giant castle somewhere, we're not we're probably not going to do that because it'd be too much
Yeah.
work to fill the chest and stuff, and that's just not what we want it to do. We don't want like a bunch of we don't want castles basically, but there might be a castle. No spoilers about that. But just like with the example of a castle, it makes it more interesting because rather than just having a bunch of landscape, you also have structures that you can go in, which will probably have a bit better loot than the area surrounding it.
Mhm. Totally. Yeah. The awesome thing is that last time we did all of the structures by hand. The best one was probably a sort of potion watchtower that Dabby made, and that was so amazing. But it took him like an hour or two to make it, and this map is so much bigger. And we need so many structures to fill it because last time I think we had only about 3 or 4 structures. We had the mine, the potion tower, the parkour course, like treehouse, and then a few like little outpost things.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, so can I talk about schematics really fast, actually?
Sure.
Yeah, so the way we're getting around having to build all of these things, which like, if we had time, like, we would, and I think we could build these things, but on a time basis, and we don't want to build this many things, we're turning to schematics, which are something you can do with World Edit to like copy a bit of the terrain and export it into a file that other people can download and put it into their schematics folder in World Edit and be able to paste it into their world. If you want to learn how to do it exactly, there's a tutorial that you can use by a YouTuber called Soul Striker. Just look up how to use World Edit schematics. It's a pretty good tutorial. It's very fast and to the point. But basically, there's a website called Minecraft-schematics.com where you can download. There's so many amazing schematics that you can just download and paste into your world. So we can just like, I don't really want to go too into detail to avoid spoilers, but there's some
I think
really,
there were
really
one or two structures that were super cool, but we decided we weren't gonna use them.
Exactly.
So you can do that as an example.
Exactly, like, I don't know where it is right now, but there was a really, really amazing, like, massive island with a really cool castle mansion thing on top of it, and it was, like, one of the best builds I've ever seen, and, like, we decided not to use it for this, but you could just, like, download that and put it into your map or your world, and it's just mind-blowing how you can just get something like that, and it's such a cool feature that I wish I had known about before. And once you learn how to do it, it's really simple to use, actually. So if you are looking into making a map, definitely use schematics, unless you really want to make everything yourself, which, I mean, respect if you do, but that's going to take a really long time, especially with a map as big as what we have.
I think part of the problem last time was, since there were so few structures, someone would loot a structure and then they were pretty hard to get to, so someone would like risk their life and spend a while getting to it only to find that it had already been looted. So this time, I mean, how many structures do you think we'll have? Like at least 20 or 30 probably.
Yeah, so we have a Google Doc right now. We have like more than a page of just links to different schematics, which
wow, yeah.
So definitely 20 to 30 structures. Not all of them are going to have a lot of loot, but you can bet that most of them will be pretty cool.
So, speaking of loot, that's a pretty good segue.
What a good transition. Give it up.
Into talking about the loot table. So another thing we struggled with last time was we had to fill all the chests by hand. And that was hard. That took a long time.
Airplane crashes in war.
Yeah, that was difficult. It took about 4 or 5 hours, and that's on a map that's like 1/25 the size of the map that we have now. Exactly. So instead, we decided to actually create a semi-randomized loot table containing all the stuff that would be in a chest. So,
coding! Whoa!
Yay! So we made a loot table using an external tool called mcstacker.net. It's quite useful, and we made a loot table. So every single item that's going to be in the game, ranging from enchanted books to potions, weapons, armor, food, everything like that is all on the loot table and randomized. So each chest will have, I think, somewhere between 3 and 10 of those items on it, depending on how lucky you are. And it makes it so that each chest, we just have to place it down, run a very quick command, and that's all we need to do. So instead of a chest taking maybe a minute to 3 minutes or something, it'll take 10 seconds at most. So that will really help a lot.
Exactly. So like Firestar did most of the work with like the making the data pack and stuff. I think, yeah, because like he was making the loot like randomized stuff, and then it crashed, so I took over. But yeah, I mean, it took a while for us to get like everything working with the data pack and stuff.
Totally.
And it's still not working exactly as we wished it would, but it's pretty good. That's gonna make it so much easier than it would have.
So much easier, yeah. Because even though it took probably 4 hours or so to create it and get it working, it will make up so much when it comes to the time we have to spend filling all those chests. So yeah, we're probably gonna fill up the chests at mid and maybe a few in structures, but mostly it'll just be the randomized chests. And so that we don't have to like fill a lot of the chests that are hidden or hard to get to, instead of having better loot, they'll probably just have more chests there. So yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
So how about we talk about the future, because we still have a lot of stuff left to do. So
Do you want me to start?
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, as we've said before, we've only done the world painter and a bit of world edit, as well as just some manual building. But basically, we have a lot more to do, whether it's just like touching everything up with world edit, because while world painter is good, it's not perfect, and we've forgotten to do some things, and world edit can be a nice thing to just kind of, as it's in the name, world edit, to just kind of slightly edit what we did before and make sure it's all looking nice. Although it is a giant map, so like we're not gonna make everything perfect, because that would just be insane. So yeah,
I think it's fine. With World Painter, there's a few little glitches. We've seen some rivers before that have been like cut off and like, and I think we're not going to be a perfectionist and fix every little detail on the 5,000 by 5,000 block map. So we're sort of going to accept the fact that some areas are going to have chunk glitches, stuff like that.
And we'll try
and we're just going to deal with. We'll do better next time, and we'll just kind of deal with it and just say, I mean, if you think about it, Minecraft's naturally generating terrain is never perfect. There's a bunch of floating islands, weird shapes. So, if anything, it's just more realistic to what Minecraft is like, right?
Yeah, and also, like, this is also, like, basically both of our first times using World Edit, so I think that...
You mean World Painter?
I mean World Painter, yeah. So I think it's perfectly acceptable that not everything is perfect. But yeah, so we also have, besides doing World Edit, we have to add all of the chests as well as the custom structures, which are just the structures and schematics, which I talked about before.
We have a ton of command block work to do, which I think I'm actually going to start on that today. And we'll use some schematics to load over some of the command blocks and starting areas from
the last time.
Exactly, yeah.
If you want to see the last event again to get a better idea of what we're doing this time, you can watch my video. Or I think
Nexuses.
Or Nexuses, or if you want to see the point of view of somebody who played in the event, there's Nexus. I think Undercover Donut had a video on it, but yeah. It's really long and not like edited at all. So if you want to see what it's like from the perspective of a player, watch Nexus's video. If you want to see just like the event in general from a host perspective, just kind of see the entire thing, watch my video.
Exactly. I think I'll actually be making a quick video about actually the making of the Hunger Games, and I won't release it until we've hosted the first event on this map.
I'm considering making like a world tour and stuff of the map as well. Also, maybe we could offer them a world download of our map after we host the event.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe after we host all 3 events on the map.
Yeah, probably.
So that they don't learn every single thing about the map. Speaking of which, basically the way it works is that we'll have different seasons. Each season will have 3 of Hunger Games events, and each season will be on the same map. So we'll probably have, once we're done with the map, we'll host the event, and we'll do it 3 weeks in a row. Not every single person will be the same every time, since some people can't make it, and we probably have more than 24 people. But that's kind of the fun of it. So we'll have 24 people each time. We'll host it probably 3 weeks in a row, then take a month off to work on the next map and prepare, and then do another season on a new map. So yeah, that's PogChamp.
Yeah, also we might not completely stick to that schedule.
Yeah.
But
that's
we'll
just sort of
try to, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, that's sort of just the basic layout of it. Yeah. Alright, so that just about wraps up our main discussion. However, it's not over because, well, 2020's been a long year, and this is actually the last episode of 2020, even though it's technically only the 3rd episode. And you might not know every single thing about our YouTube channels and what we've been doing. So we're gonna have a quick discussion about, instead of what we've been doing in Minecraft the past week, about the past year, maybe 1 month at a time or so.
Yeah.
So let's start out with our old server.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. So,
warning! Cringe warning.
Yeah, well, anyway, we had an old server with the people who are now currently the admins of Cavecraft. So me,
Nexus, the Great Bacon,
Techron, and the 2 of us.
Yeah, exactly.
And we had that server running for 8 months or so. A relatively similar server style, to Cavecraft. So,
except nowhere near as good.
Yeah.
Because we have 3 active members.
So I actually recorded a world tour of that, and I'll at some point edit it, and share it with you maybe. But if you're, I bet there's not a single person who's listened to this end of the video, but if you have, check in our Discord server and ask for screenshots, and we can send screenshots of our mega bases and stuff like that. So yeah, let's not start at the beginning of the server. Let's just start at the beginning of 2020. So around then, I remember some things, so I can help you out.
I guess it was in the middle of 7th grade.
Yeah. Anyway, so we started off 2020 with the 2 of us together worked on a little sort of bee farm. It was gonna end up being a honey farm, honeycomb farm, bee breeder, bee powered crop farm, and a bee shop. We only got to the honey and honeycomb farm part of it, but yeah, we started out the year together, the 2 of us, creating a sort of 7 hexagon thing.
Wait, that was at the beginning of 2020?
Well, I mean, the bee update only came out mid-December, so somewhere. Maybe it was very good.
I remember that so vividly. Oh my god.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, so, and around that
So remember to ask for screenshots and we'll happily send them. The next thing that really happened on that server is you kind of started working on your mech base.
Exactly. So I was the first person who decided to actually make a mega base, because we were all planning on it, because it was kind of just a we were trying to make a copy of Hermitcraft. I'm just gonna be upfront. The server's name was TNH. If you hear us mention that, that's what we're referring to. It actually stood for the new Hermitcraft.
It was very
there was one time where we whitelisted all the hermits just in case they would enter our random string of letters and join.
It was just as a joke, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I started work. I was just you know what? Because, like, back then, like, I was still really bad at building. Like, I hadn't really built anything before, and I was just like, I'm gonna set work on a mega base, and it's gonna be great. So, I had an idea. I had visited I don't know if any of you are aware, but there's a country called Mexico. I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool. Why did I say it like that?
It's a really tiny country. I don't think anyone's ever heard of it.
Yeah, no, it's kind of okay. No, no, it's okay. We can say whatever we want. Nobody's gonna listen this far.
They have good food there, I think.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. But I went to this place called Teotihuacan, which is basically this old. I don't even remember if it's like Aztec or Mayan. I think it's Aztec, but I don't remember. But basically, they have these Mesoamerican style pyramids, and I was just, whoa, that was so cool. And I was really, really inspired, so I decided to make it in Minecraft. So I did. I made a Mesoamerican style pyramid with like the steps, the stepped stuff and stuff. Yeah.
It was it was the biggest, like we've watched Hermitcraft and seen mega bases there, but it was probably the biggest build we'd ever like seen anyone build
Exactly.
like, in first person in Minecraft, and it was pretty amazing. I mean, in retrospect, it was only about 100 by 100, but...
Exactly. I mean, it wasn't that big, but to us back then, it felt huge. And I vividly remember working on it, just like I had this pattern, because I built the steps first, and then I had to completely redo it because I did it wrong. And I had this pattern, and I just remember placing stone bricks over and over again. I don't think I ever textured it, because I didn't...
No, you definitely textured it. I remember I was so... Oh, no, not with stone and cobble, but with mossy stone brick and cracked stone brick.
Oh, yeah, that took a long time.
And I remember I was so impressed by the mossy stone brick, because that's not easy. You didn't have a vine farm or anything. That's not easy.
No, I actually spent a few hours just like trying to figure out how to make like an AFK vine farm. I didn't want to look up a tutorial because I didn't feel like it, but I couldn't do it. So I just like set up a few walls of vines that I would just like AFK out and go harvest, and it was a lot of work to get all of that. And it took a really long time, and there's a lot of times where basically when I was building it, I just kind of looked at it and like, that doesn't look good, but I stuck with it, and at the end, after like adding a nether portal at the top and adding a few like water features, I was actually really, really proud of it, and I still think it's like one of the coolest things I've done. I mean, obviously, I think I can do much better now, but that was really a turning point for me. Just like, I don't know, everybody said it was good, and I thought it was good, and like, cool, wait, and I just
and the interior.
Okay, wait. Exactly, and I built a whole interior with like a nicely decorated floor and villagers and stuff.
Oh, I remember how much you wanted those sea lanterns.
Exactly, I had to beg for sea lanterns, and
we had a guardian farm, but like it was so slow. It probably would have been faster to just manually kill them.
Yeah, it really would have. It was a really bad farm.
Yeah. So then, just around in like February and March, I think that was around when Nexus and I had our redstone shop battle. So we kind of like at around the same time had the idea to make a redstone shop on the server, since redstone materials are hard to get.
Or Nexus made his first.
He made his first, but we had the idea at the same time. So he made like just a basic nice redstone shop, but I decided to one-up him and make.
He made a really bad pixel art of redstone dust. I remember.
Oh yeah,
he
did.
So bad.
But I decided to one-up him and make a redstone shop. Basically, think miniature Sahara. It's a redstone shop, but you have to like, so you select what you want in the lectern, you press the button, you receive it, but you don't get it until you pay diamonds. So yeah, it was really.
I was really impressed with that shop. Like,
it was a lot of work, and it was
exactly. Like, I remember you were just on the server, just like working on it. And I remember I just like fly in and check on you every once in a while, just like, wow. And I was super impressed because like I'm not really good at redstone now, but even more like back then, I
like
had
never
no
touched
clue
redstone dust.
Exactly,
Yeah.
I literally had no idea how any of it worked, and like I had seen in Hermitcraft like Iskall and Mumbo building all the redstone for Sahara, and I was just like, wow. And then seeing
that must be
on the
hacks.
server,
You're like, that must be hacks.
Exactly. No, I mean, Yeah.
Either hacks
It was
or
so
magic.
cool. Just like seeing it come to
That
life.
took like 2 or 3 weeks to make. It was difficult.
Exactly. It was
It was
cool.
like, to this day, it was a very fun thing for me to make, and I think it really helped out with my redstone skills, even though I used a tutorial for probably over half of it. But it was kind of sad because I spent so long in it, and I think like nobody ever bought anything from it.
I bought a
Which
few
was-
things from it just for the fun of it, although I like never used it because.
Oh yeah, you bought like the sale pass, which
I
never
bought the
happened.
sale pass, which you never used. I got
Mhm.
scammed out of that.
The only thing I realized is since I didn't have like an iron farm and a witch farm and stuff, it was difficult because I needed to stock like an entire dropper full of all those materials for it to work. I couldn't just do like a few stacks or anything. I needed to do a full dropper worth. Or sorry, no, multiple droppers actually. In fact, if it was something where they were buying a full stack, I needed 8 droppers worth of it, which meant like at that time having like I think it was 4 or maybe 2 or 4 droppers worth of hoppers, like that's a lot. It's like if you don't have an iron farm and a tree farm, that's really a lot.
We built a tree farm at the end of the server.
I know. I mean, we'll talk about that in a bit, but then Bacon and I started collaborating on our mega base. Again, if you just ask nicely, I'm happy to send screenshots in the Discord server. But that was super cool. Let's see. It was sort of a sort of flying modern disc, and it had. Why am I saying so much? It had a water elevator that came from a iceberg.
Oh yeah, that you paid me to terraform.
Yeah, you terraformed it quite nicely.
And it was actually really good. I'm proud of that terraform.
So it was sort of a disc. Well, it kind of turned into a wheel because it had diagonal things that were going rounded and up. That was very tricky to calculate and make it like rounded and not diagonal. But yeah, that was super fun to make. And sort of while we were making that, we had a few events in Dabby's Mega Base since it was a big build where we did sort of like stat poker, kind of like on Hermitcraft, where we betted on a few statistics. Yeah,
And I won most of them because like I had spent the most time on the server because
I had the most deaths though, and I was
yeah,
very proud of
that's
that.
because you're bad.
No, I mean I had the most deaths on Cavecraft until Volungard came along and was a
And the thing is like
stole everything.
the thing is just a Volungard has just played so much.
I know. Well, but he also at one point made a death machine to like repeatedly die. Anyway, so that stat poker ended up turning into a casino, which
Oh yeah.
I mostly made. I did a lot of work on my own.
You and
Bacon and Dabby, I think, helped a little bit.
I didn't help at all. I wasn't
Didn't you
allowed.
make the outer building though?
Oh yeah, no, I did. That was an ugly.
Yeah.
one. Honestly, I know it was fine though.
No, that was a good building.
It was a circuit. I mean, it was a sphere of white
Yeah.
concrete, but it was pretty cool.
No, but it was
Oh
detailed.
yeah, I remember that. Oh my god. Cause I made like a lobby, and then like I had like hotel rooms at the top you could stay
Yeah,
in.
totally. We made it like a nice hotel at the top, and then that like the way where you can glitch through a block using a shulker box. We made like it sort of like an underground hidden casino that was underground, and so I made a bunch of I think like 10 by 10 plots, which took a while to dig out because I didn't have a beacon and stuff to mine. So I
I
made a
don't
bunch
think
of
we
10 by
ever got a single beacon on that server.
No, we had beacons by the end.
Oh yeah, no, we did at the end. You're right. Never mind.
I did a lot of wither skeleton grinding at one point, but
I
anyway.
think the biggest
So
trouble though was to get like the. Oh yeah, no, you guys had an iron farm at the very end. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So the casino, I made a bunch of plots. I made a few games. Nexus made a game. Like
Nexus
I,
made a game that got.
I kind of sold plots in the casino for people to make builds. So yeah. After that, it was sort of a bunch of farm grinding. Dabby Bacon and I actually did a bunch of stuff together. We made a tree farm.
Huge witch farm.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
that was
at
the
very
end. That's the
though.
end.
That's
That's
at
the
the
end.
very end, yeah.
So we made a tree farm together. Bacon and I made a villager setup and an iron farm in our mega base. And then at the very end, Dabby, Bacon, and I made a giant witch farm with a perimeter. And the funny thing is, the AFK platform was so high up that we wouldn't have even needed a perimeter. It wouldn't have made it any
Exactly.
faster. But it was just so fun to do
And we
it.
smoothed out the walls, and I filled in the entire
And made it
thing with
100%
lime glass.
And we not only did we smooth out the walls, we made it 100% stone. So no
Oh yeah.
ores, no diuretic granite or
diuretic.
andesite. That was a lot of work, but that was really satisfying to do. So yeah, that was basically. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot one last thing. And then I also made a mini game, which I'm actually going to be bringing back in
Oh.
Cavecraft Season 2.
Really? Wait, are you actually?
Yeah, it was fun. We never really got to
Pog?
finish it. It's not really actually a mini game; it's more like a mega game. But
That was really fun.
Dabby helped me terraform
I-
a jungle island in the middle of like a frozen ocean, a jungle island to just be the hub for the game.
Yeah,
So,
Bacon
like-
was upset with you because you literally gave me like all of your guys' diamonds for terraforming.
I was the one who grinded most of those diamonds since he was
Yeah, I
an
mean,
active
you gave me like
so.
20 diamond blocks to do it.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, sir.
But like that was cool because for me that
By
was
the end of the server, I had a reputation of being like
rich.
somewhat of the best person.
No, just rich. But
Like,
anyway,
no, I don't know. I was like, people hired me for building and terraforming and stuff.
but that was sort of the first time I'd ever done like a build just for fun. Like I could have just had the game, by the way, it was called Sacrifice. I could have just had it in a little plains area and set up a few things. But I terraformed a jungle island just to make it like have some immersion and be super cool. So yeah, I won't go into detail about what that game was about because I'm bringing it back in Cavecraft Season 2. But that was really
But
fun.
it was really fun. And can I just say, part of it, there was a building competition
Mhm.
between me and Firestar.
Oh god.
And we had to build a horse stable. And I completely wrecked it.
I was so embarrassed.
No, I mean, I was actually kind of impressed with what you did. Like, I mean, you constantly talked about how you were so bad at building back then. I think you've gotten a lot better. But like,
I got
your
a
build
little
was like,
better.
I think that your build, I think you had a good start,
Yeah.
and then you just completely just like
Mhm.
ruined it.
And it was also like not really a horse. Like when I saw yours, I realized that's a horse stable. Mine
you
was
made
just
like
like
a pen.
Mine was a horse pen with a roof, basically.
Exactly. No, I'm actually still really proud of mine.
That
It was
was
like
a
a really cool
really
medieval
that was
thing
a
with
great
like a
build.
bunch of
detail.
stables.
So yeah, so that was our old
I
server.
think afterwards I built it in creative.
Mhm.
I don't remember the world though. I'm gonna try and
Yeah.
find it after the.
Yeah. So anyway, that was most of our old server.
Like, can we talk really fast about all the shops in the shopping district? Or maybe we should like have a.
Maybe we'll have a main
episode on
discussion
TNH.
about the yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and we
So
can.
after that-
like I had like all this.
Mhm.
Yeah. I guess.
So after that, we did a lot of community building and recruiting for Cavecraft.
Okay. Wait.
sort of-
Yeah. So can I talk about how
Sure.
you had the idea for Cavecraft and stuff?
Sure.
So basically, we were kind of getting a bit sick of TNH. Just like we've been on it for a long time and we've had a lot of fun, but
We weren't
we
even
had
sick
dreams
of
for
it.
something bigger.
It wasn't even that we were sick of it. Like I would have been happy to continue, and
Yeah,
I had a lot more stuff to do. It was just that we had 5 people on it, and for
The economy was dead.
yeah, for a Hermitcraft style server with an economy, 5 people is just not enough.
Exactly, because like I don't know, I had most of the shops on the server, and the thing is, nobody needed to buy from the shops because like, and there's just not enough people to like. I don't know. We were just kind of frustrated how it wasn't working out, and we also, I think I actually had the idea. So I don't know. We were obviously watching.
No,
a lot
it
of
was
Hermitcraft
Nexus.
at the time.
It
Yeah,
was
no, Nexus had the idea for Cavecraft. But I had the idea for us all to start making YouTube videos and get our channels. So
Mhm.
you're welcome.
I don't think that
I
was your
think-
idea. I think we all had that idea together.
Yeah, I
but
think
whatever.
I think we all kind of wanted to.
Mhm.
But yeah, we all decided to do it together, and then we all wanted to make an SMP, and Nexus was like, hey, what if we make like this thing where like we all have underground bases? We didn't end up having underground bases, but we still called it Cavecraft, and
Mhm.
that's how Cavecraft was born.
Yeah.
So we did a bunch of recruiting and stuff, and
And we built our community, and we played a bunch of mini games like Island Fall on a Minecraft realm. And then, Cavecraft started. It was super active when it started. We all worked on a bunch of stuff. I'm going to talk a bit less about Cavecraft since we're sort of running out of time, and you can watch our videos.
And I'm sure we're going to have a main discussion about Cavecraft at some point.
Yeah, and I mean, you can watch our videos to find out basically everything that happened.
Exactly, watch our Cavecraft series, please. It's like, it's the series that we all started out with, and I don't know, we don't have a ton of views on it, except first there was like a freaking 300 view video, holy crap. But I don't know, like it was where we all started off, and I don't know, I think it's really cool to watch our series because you can just kind of see how we're just like getting more like used to like recording and doing YouTube, and it's just really cool to kind of, I don't know, for me at least, to watch all of our, I just like go back and watch all of our old videos.
Old videos, yeah, I do that. As Cavecraft developed, we started live streaming for the first time, which was kind of exciting and scary because like live streaming, like if you mess up, that's it.
Exactly.
So really
if you leak something, yeah, it's bad. That's really bad. But I don't know about you, but I've had a little bit of experience with leaking something, but I covered it up very heavily, so.
I don't remember that. Tell me that after we're done recording.
Yeah, no, I was in a VC. It was literally the the Minecraft live stream thing.
Yeah.
And then we switched to Among Us. Yeah. Yeah. There's a reason why that stream is privated for me. But yeah.
So anyway, we did some live streams. Dabby and I did a short little block shuffle series. We did a bunch of other stuff. Most of
that block shuffle series was a godsend. That was like my first kind of video that actually did well. Like
we gained a bunch of
100
views and
it got me like 50 subscribers, like that one video.
I know.
And then
that month, August, I got like 50. I went from under 50 to 100 subscribers in 1 month.
Exactly. I went from like,
and now I'm going so slow.
20 subscribers to nearly 100 as well. It's just like, I don't know, I feel like that for me at least was when I was just like, hey wait, I should that's when I kind of started taking YouTube more seriously. Just like, because, I don't know, I was having
getting better at editing,
a lot of
like
fun,
that.
and I just decided to get better at editing and just kind of up the quality of my videos, which is why they're so good now, and you should always subscribe to Dabby Cat, and Firestar.
So yes, we had that, we worked on the Hunger Games, more Cavecraft, the new server, Totemcraft
the Hunger Games
in 2021.
We did make the old Hunger Games, and
that took a while.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, also just like the video, like that video took me so long to edit, but honestly, it's like, I'm so happy with it. It's literally, I mean, that's my favorite thing like I've ever done. Like,
totally.
I mean, as far as what I've created, stuff I've created, it's just like, it's the best.
Yeah.
And the views reflected it.
So here we are at the end of 2020 and nearing in on the end of the episode. Dabby, you want to close it off?
So right before we ended it off, so 2020 has been a long year, and so it's actually, I mean, it's been a rough year for most people, but I'm pretty happy with it. I've made a lot of new friends and learned a lot of new things. And and it's the end of 2020, but 2021 will be a new beginning where I'm hoping to do a lot more fun things on YouTube and just Minecraft and everything. And
totally. I'm super excited.
It's gonna be a great year.
Before we wrap it up, I just want to give a few shout outs to some members of our community. First of all, thank you, Noligan, for being our first patron. That was really awesome. Thank you to Rylan Lee for making the profile picture.
Yeah, she made a ton of cool fan art,
including the official logo of this podcast.
Yeah.
I want to thank all the Cavecraft peeps for just being awesome, and the people on this new server, and all the friends we've made along the way.
I don't know, and also just like people who aren't on Cavecraft, just like people like Elias, Demid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Rylan. Yeah, just like people who, I don't know, have been there to support us this whole time.
Been part of our community.
I really appreciate them. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's close it off.
Okay, so that just about wraps up this episode of the Dragon's Breath Minecraft podcast. Thank you so much for listening.
All important links are in the show notes or description. Make sure to once again join the Discord server and check out the content we make. It would really help us out. The Dragon's Breath is happy to be a listener-supported podcast, so if you enjoy it, consider helping us out at www.patreon.com/dragonsbreath, no apostrophes, with all the awesome benefits included as well.
Yeah, so that's all the time we have for today. Please leave us feedback at dragonsbreathpodcast@gmail.com. No apostrophes, no spaces, no capitals, no nothing. Or on our Discord server. It'd be great if we could start incorporating listener feedback and questions into the show. Also, listen wherever you're listening to this podcast. It'd be cool if you listened on Anchor,
or Anchor-based platforms, or
Anchor-based
Spotify, or
exactly, like anything like that. Because, well, yeah. So basically, we might be able to start making some money off this, which would be really fun. So yeah. Anyways,
if we can make a bit of money off of this, we can improve the quality of the podcast.
Exactly. We can invest it back into the podcast.
So that would be so amazing.
Yeah. So anyway, I really, really hope you guys enjoyed.
And make sure to take a mint.